Your mind is the most powerful weapon in the world. When you put your phones and computers aside, when you're depressed, going through hard times, the only thing you have is your brain. This is real life. You can't Google this. You might go to a psychiatrist when you're alone, or talk to a close friend. But you live inside your brain 24/7, and your brain talks to you in every way. It wants to control you and pulls you into different voids. If you can't control your brain controls you. You have to tell your brain where you want to go and how you want to get there. Keep control in your hands. Otherwise, it's over. That was my worry. How would I handle this? Back then, the only thing I knew was hard work. The only way anything succeeds. I used to hear, you have to work hard all the time. I didn't know how. I couldn't understand this paragraph. I couldn't remember what it said that would help me pass. The exam. Read it again. Still don't understand? Read it again. If you still don't understand, write it down. This is how I started learning. I thought I had to write down everything I did. I had to put it down on paper over and over again. And guess what happened? I understood. I can't swim. I kept sinking. In the water. Try again. I can't swim. Start over. Start again and again from the beginning. It will happen. I realized that if I kept going back to the start until this thing happened, my mind would say, okay, we'll find a way. Because your brain will say, this person won't stop until they learn this. Did it sound the alarm? We start. Again. I can't read. We start again. I gave myself no other way out, and my mind noticed. I said, okay, we'll adapt and get through this. As most people say, put in the effort. Your mind understands this and will think, this guy is a real troublemaker. When I was in underwater training, everyone asked me how I stayed there for 18 months. The program normally lasted only 6 months. You were there 3 weeks at a time over a year. No one had ever done that before. They'd ask, how did you do it? I knew I was witnessing a long journey there. My body was breaking down. That's how things worked there. That was my norm. I told myself that it was just like going to work. When you go to work, you put on your suit and tie. The same here. I was going to pain every day. Every single day I suffered. They tied my feet. My stress was through the roof. I was dealing with runner's leg syndrome. I didn't have a single penny in my pocket. This was my new norm. And your mind gets stronger because of this. People would ask me how I ran with a broken leg. Only my mind knew that this was how I could run. During underwater training, I didn't give myself a way out. Outside those hellish walls, there was nothing. Nothing at all. Later, I became an underwater training commando. That was my mindset. If I start something, I have to rise. This is how you overcome certain things. Whatever that thing is, you immerse yourself in it. You become that thing and refuse to give yourself any way out. During underwater training, I weighed 134 kilos. I was extremely overweight. Until then, the scariest thought in my life was that I would remain like this forever. At the time, I thought I was working very hard. That was the scariest thing. I was 134 kilos working for a cleaning company. I was making about $1,000 a month killing bugs. In that state, I thought I was at 100% of my potential. A few years later, I realized I hadn't even come close to my real potential. When I graduated from underwater training, I weighed 48 kilos. Looking back, I really had worked hard. People need to understand this. We can't recognize what's inside us until we start trying. I'm talking about truly putting in the effort until you fixate on your new norm. It doesn't always have to be fun. That's when you truly know you're trying. When people hear my story, they think I'm a sadist. I know how the mind works. Figured it out. I was a scared kid, and that's what gave me power. I had no foundation. I built it only by studying my mind. The feeling you're talking about is basically invincibility. You think you can't keep doing it, but when you feel the need to do it and realize you can run with a broken leg, you understand your real potential. Many people are born with this potential, but they're not willing to use it. This strength, this nervous system gives you energy when you're sitting there. At 3:30 or 4 a.m., your feet taped because they're broken, and you do it on your own. And you enter one of the hardest trainings in the world. Almost everyone else is healthy, but you're there with a broken leg. You are in a position of strength, yet you are still there. You can feed off this and gain immense strength. But according to your norms, you have broken parts. I can't do this. But my legs are broken, and I'm still here. I'm fighting. You will find a way to overcome it. Because if you adopt the mindset that you have nowhere else to go, it will give you power. When things start going really badly, my mind and the minds of many others, don't think about your father beating you or anything like that. Your mind says we need to get out of here. This is a terrible situation. So when you suffer, anger passes, because your brain only says you need to escape. We need to go. That's why anger doesn't come out, as I'll show those people. No, it has to be something deeper. By deeper, I mean your reason must reach the very bottom, down to the mineral-rich soil. It must have reached that beautiful soil where nothing can burn. You can't burn the soil. That's why you have to go much deeper than that. This is also something that lies deep within your soul. But you won't find it until you spend enough time with what you want to be in life. This isn't something I can give you, or you can give someone else. It happens when you discover your true passion in life. My passion was to serve my country. I wanted to be someone I could be proud of. Every day, when I looked in the mirror, what I saw disappointed me. I wanted everyone to love David Goggins. Most people did, but I didn't love myself. Yet I know that most of us first want to find peace. Some people say, "You always talk about suffering and pain." I'm at peace now, because I had already gone through that stage. You don't get peace first. If you do, good for you. I found peace at the other end of finding myself. No one can find themselves without challenges, misfortune, suffering, and responsibility. And responsibility is suffering. Being accountable for doing what's right for yourself and the person next to you is a terrible thing, It's truly hard.